This is a photo of one of the magic trees that you'll find if you visit Columbia, Missouri around Christmas time. And it's hard to really explain what this is without seeing it, because when you listen to the explanation, it just sounds kind of weird. It's a tree that is wrapped up with thousands of feet. I think it's like measured in miles of Christmas lights. And you might think, well, that doesn't sound that great. It's just a lot of Christmas lights. But when you go there and see, I mean, it's unlike anything you've probably ever seen before, because the entire tree, every little branch, every little twig, the whole trunk, everything is wrapped up in Christmas lights. And somehow the artist who does these gets all the way around the tree up to the top of the tree. And one of the trees that is wrapped every year is tall, like 80 feet tall or something like that. That's not this particular one. There's, I think, 2 of these in town. And the one interesting challenge is, how do you possibly take a photograph of that and capture what this is? Because if you stand far back, it just looks like this glowing tree, which is kind of neat, but it doesn't really capture what is happening. But if you get up close, you only see a small section of the tree. And when we visited this spot last year, I'd never seen this before, and it was like amazing. I thought it was super cool. I didn't even have my Fuji then. And I tried to take a few pictures, and none of them did it justice. So this year, when we went and visited, I wanted to try and take a picture. And I brought my Fuji, brought the tripod, and I didn't want to take all this time doing these pictures because I was with my family and my mother-in-law, and I didn't want to shortchange them. Like, you guys go have fun while I stand here for half an hour and take a picture. I didn't want to do that at all. So I had to balance all these different things. Plus, we were on a time crunch because the boys had to go to bed pretty soon. And I took a few pictures far away. Took a few group pictures of all of us with the tripod. But none of the pictures of the tree itself really captured the essence of what this was like to be there. So I kind of reversed course. I went right up close and found one Christmas light hanging down like this green one that you see here. I manually focused, which was also tricky because if you, on the Fuji, I shot this with the X100F. If you get too close, that lens is kind of soft if you open up the aperture to f2 and get really close to your subject. But I really wanted to isolate one light with this field of lights behind. And one way to do that is to open up the aperture as far as it'll go. But I knew that wouldn't give me quite the shot I was looking for because it wouldn't be as sharp. So I stopped it down to 2.8 and manually focused and took a fefew pictures. And the interesting thing about these lights is they're actually flashing on and off really quickly, like 60 or 120 times a second. So some of the pictures, there's the light in the foreground is totally dim because it was dark, but you can't really see that with your eye. So it was just kind of interesting. When I got back and looked at these pictures, which I only took a couple, I really liked how this particular one turned out, how you got this green light in the foreground, which hopefully then helps explain what's behind it. So if this was just a field of blurry balls, you wouldn't have any idea that it's Christmas lights. But this one in the foreground tells you what everything in the background is. It doesn't tell you that there's this tree wrapped up in these lights, but hopefully it gives you a sense that something interesting is happening here because there's a lot more lights than you would see on just a normal Christmas tree. I don't know if there's enough information in this picture to really get the sense of what this is like, but hopefully it's kind of a teaser of what these magic trees look like. And if you ever find yourself in Columbia, Missouri around Christmas time, check this stuff out. It's really cool.